Match reaction, West Ham 2, Manchester United 0. Your thoughts on that game?
I thought they were clueless. I looked at Bruno, McTominay, and then forwards. I'm telling you, it just looks as though they don't play with each other. They don't practice. I haven't got a clue what's going on. Don't know whether it's a lack of confidence or anything. But there was nothing there up front. To be honest with you, if they would never score a goal right now. Right, they can play all day. They weren't going to score. There was no creativity in that 18-yard box. And I'll tell you something, right? I don't think any of them could score in a brothel. Honest to God, it's that bad. They're just not doing it at all. I thought United, for 70 minutes, had the possession, but never created anything. I thought, when you look at it, Eriksen was your man there. I thought he should have come on at the start of the second half to try and create. Him and Bruno, when they play together, they do create. But today, Bruno was absolutely abysmal. I thought the link-up play, out with the forwards, out with the wingers and that, it was just non-existent. But the forwards, that was a poor performance by them forwards. Absolutely just lacking confidence or something. There is something definitely wrong going on here. They do not play and do not train together before games.
You do look at the stats, though. You look at possession, especially up until that, let's say, 60th, 70th minute. We're completely dominating them. And then is it just still a case that we just obviously can't put the ball in the back of the net, but do you think we're doing enough creativity-wise?
Look, we dominated them because West Ham, right, stayed back. They did not press. They didn't harass United for 70 minutes. They didn't do anything. They were poor today. And if it was a West Ham fan, right, I'd say we got away with it there. We were so lucky that if it was a West Ham fan, because United just had the ball. West Ham weren't interested. That was just a typical David Moyes, and United failed to capitalise on a poor West Ham side today. Yes, they scored the goal, but for 70 minutes, United just had the ball, but did nothing with it. And that's down to the manager, it's down to the coaches, and it's down to the players. All of them are to blame there. United really should have took that game by the scruff of the neck in the first half. They had the time, they had the space, and they just never did anything with it in the box.
Yeah, I've seen Ten Hag in recent comments say that he expects things to get better going forward when the likes of Casemiro, Martinez and Mason Mount return. But you look at them three players, are they really going to get you goals each and every game, which we are lacking?
Listen, when the players do come back, I expect more to come from this team, more from the players, obviously. But that's no excuse for today. I'm not listening to what Erik Ten Hag says at the moment. I'm looking at the players on the pitch, and the players on the pitch today were led by Bruno, and Bruno wasn't a leader today. The players didn't respond. They were fine at the back. They were fine passing the ball through midfield. Tell me what Anthony was doing today. I saw him before the game started, coming down the tunnel, laughing and joking with West Ham players. I saw him at half-time, laughing and joking with Jared Bowen. That was his attitude today. I did not see what he did today. And if you look at Garnacho today, one of his poorest games, should have scored. Definitely should have scored. There's no excuses for that. Just poor, lack of confidence. And what was it? His crosses. Weren't getting the crosses in, wasn't looking up. Højlund today, what did he do? Couldn't hold the ball up. That was poor from him today. Them three up front, that was poor. And something. And I don't know what it is.
You say about excuses and no excuses for the players, but is there then excuses for Erik Ten Hag and the amount of time he's still got left in the job? Because these players today should have performed a lot better and a lot better in front of goal. And that's not down to Erik Ten Hag, surely, or do you have a different opinion?
These players should have played a lot better, should have done a lot more fight. I didn't see the killer fight, the killer instinct. They were strolling through the game because West Ham gave them the space, and West Ham were quite happy to sit there. And you just knew at some point West Ham would strike. The players there were just quite happy, as far as I'm concerned, strolling through the game, not putting the fight, the tackle, and the sweating. They kept the ball. They passed it nice and slow from the defence, from the goalie to the defence to the midfield. And then it just seemed as though we're just going to play this out for a 0-0 draw. And that's wrong. It was just, there was no competitiveness. Yes, you can keep the ball, but do something with it. Nah, there was nothing there. There was no fight up in the top of the field. I didn't really see their goalkeeper do too much, to be honest with you. And that was because there was a lack. And then obviously Ireland went off. And, Rashford come on. He's not in the best of form. We all know that. He didn't contribute nothing. Nothing was there. But you knew once they scored what was going to happen. United was just going to open themselves up and do like a kamikaze football and trying to retrieve it with no plan. And that's what happened. They got the goal, yeah, unfortunate by Mainu. But no, I'm telling you, they could still be kicking a ball now and not score a goal. And I'll say it again. They can't, at this moment, they couldn't score in a brothel. Honest to God, I know that sounds cruel and like as I'm taking the mick, but that's the way it is. If you look at the creative football today for them forwards, it just wasn't there today. And I thought there was a couple of not outstanding, but decent performances by some of the players there, especially at the back for 70 minutes. And then it just all went to pot. But how many times do we keep seeing that? United failing to capitalise on the one or two opportunities and then just don't know what they're doing. Once they scored, I didn't see anything from United. It was embarrassing, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not got a lot of tools to work with at the moment, Erik ten Hag, through injuries, etc. But that's no excuse. Also, a few of the young lads who started that game today, 18, 19 years of age, etc. But as a manager, we've really got to take responsibility as well, because it doesn't look like we have actually a plan when we're on the pitch and how we're going to actually find that goal.
That's the thing, what a lot of fans are actually saying. When something goes wrong, it's as though like, well, what's the plan? What do we do now? And everyone seems to be looking around at each other. And that's down to the manager. The manager sets the team up. This is what happens. And then he gets out there and he changes it with his subs or whatever. And then he gives instructions and that. And it's like, no one's listening to any instructions. No, any player what tries to do it on the pitch. I mean, no one's listening to Bruno. Simple as that. I mean, today, I just seen Bruno from the start of the game going around giving out instructions, lifting his arms up, instead of just getting on with his own game.
Sorry, do you think that's detrimental as well to the other players on the pitch when Bruno's barking out orders to people? If you was on the pitch, what would you say? And do you think it'd affect your own game in how you want to play yourself?
I've seen players before look at Bruno and sort of say, who are you talking to? And I go back a long time ago, City away, when we was getting thrashed and Bruno was shouting at Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka don't listen to him now, right? And that's a good thing because Wan-Bissaka's improved. And Bruno just goes round, just shouting and bawling, trying to give instructions out, but they're not proper instructions. He needs to get on with his game. And the balls he was doing and the couple of shots what he had made no sense at all. He did not create anything with the centre forward or with the wingers today. And him and Scott McTominay going forward didn't work together, didn't go rushing into the box. That was the poor side of the football. But yeah, United had the possession only because West Ham let them have the possession. And after 70 minutes, we've seen what happened. One pass, player runs through, unchallenged, and gets the goal. And from that moment onwards, where was your captain? Where was your Luke Shaw and all these other players out there, what have got it? I can't put the blame on them young kids out there today. They're only doing what they're doing. But they had no inspiration from the elder players, and they certainly didn't have any inspiration from the manager and from the captain today.
In 8th place, we've got Villa on Boxing Day, struggling for goals, not scored a goal in the previous 4 games now. What are you thinking going forward?
I fear for United. The confidence, there is no confidence. I don't see how it's going to change at the moment. They've got to battle through and then just try and get results until certain players come back. But for now, I just fear for United going forward. I don't see anything. I don't see any style of football, creative football, what is supposed to be. And the creative style comes from your midfield. And it's not there. And today, you've just seen nothing, no creative football whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm going to end it on there. Great review. Just like to thank everyone for joining us. Obviously, get involved in the chat as well with your own opinions on that game. And enjoy your Christmas to everyone out there who's celebrating Christmas. And we'll be back on Boxing Day morning with the match preview for Aston Villa. Hopefully we can give some inspiration on that. But at the moment, I need a drink. Enjoy your Christmas, everyone.
Thank you very much.